Hello YouTube. It's cold this morning. It's supposed to warm up really nice today. But anyway, the 5.3 swap 96 Camaro, it still isn't starting as good as it should. I know in the last video I cleaned up the fuel cells, and that did help a lot. It even revs a lot better now, but it's still not starting as good as it should. Strong Speedworks YouTube channel, he commented on one of the videos. It's like the IAC counts too high. I don't know why I never did that. I know to do that. I preach it on the LT1, just wasn't thinking about it on the LS car. So today we're gonna, and y'all check out his channel, he's a pretty good tuner, but today we're gonna go over how to set the idle air control, IAC steps, to get the car to start better. After it starts the first time, it takes like 3 or 4 tries to get it to start when it's cold, but after it starts the first time, it starts right up. And it actually drives good and everything like that, but I want it to cold start a little bit better. Plus setting those IAC steps help it come back to idle a little bit better too when you're driving it. But yeah. So the first step is we're going to get it up to temperature and see where the IAC steps are at. We want them between 40 and 60 at warm idle. Chris makes fun of me because his carbureted car, it starts way easier. That thing starts right up no matter what. It doesn't, at E85, it don't care how cold it is outside. It starts right up. Well, not now, motor's out of it. All right, again, 160 thermostat. It's about as high as this thing gets. And look, we're at an idle air control position. We're at way too high. We should be 40 to 60. What we're gonna do is, this is a T15. We're gonna, you have to screw it from the bottom. It's hard to get in there. So we're gonna screw that up, which is gonna open the blades up. And then we're going to reset the throttle position sensor. And then we do got to make sure that the throttle position sensor is reading less than 0.6 volts, I believe. But let's try to screw that in some. All right, I got a T15 1.5 Torx bit. I just put it on a pair of vice grips. And I'll probably have to flip the throttle up and get in here and try to turn it. What a lot of people do is they'll take this out, and as long as the size of the head of the bolt is smaller than this gap, you can put it in the top, and then that way you can just go like that, screw it from the top. That's what a lot of people do, and we might end up doing that. We'll see how good we can get to it. Well, it wasn't easy, but as you can see, it's a little bit higher now. So I just pulled the throttle back, stuck this in there, turned it. Then I had to reclock this on the vice grips because I couldn't turn it far enough to get another bite coming back. I think I turned it about 4 of these. Let's see where that's at. Let's go ahead and reset it first though. So we'll unplug the throttle position sensor. Right there. Yeah, throttle position sensor unhooked, key on, 30 seconds, 1003, 1004, 1010, 1011, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So that's probably more than 30 seconds, but anyway, we'll shut it back off. It can be more, just can't be less. Then we're going to plug this back in, and we'll check a few things on the scanner. We'll just plug that right back in there, just like that right there. It's plugged back in. All right, so our throttle position center voltage is 0.76. I mean, it reads 0%, but I'm told that's too high. But anyway, let's see where it puts the IAC steps at. See, that's all it took. We're in the 40s to 60s. That's exactly where it should be. But this is too high. We're going to have to clock our throttle position sensor some. And the 40, also the 40 to 60 number is if you have a cam. The stock number is usually, I think, 60 to 80 at warm idle for the IAC counts. But this does have a cam in it, so we need to be in the 40 to 60 range. And every time you add a cam, you have to do this. We need to do this on Christopher's car too, his WS6, his LS1 2000 WS6. But yeah, but we need to lower the throttle position sensor voltage now. So let's see if we can't loosen the bolts on it and see if we can't clock it a little bit to get that lower. We just need it a little bit lower. It's 0.76, we need 0.6 or below. Try to lower that voltage. What we're going to do is there's a Torx here. There's one on the other side too. We're going to try to loosen those and then turn this clockwise, the same direction the throttle would turn, to try to lower it. So I'm going to loosen those and I'm going to pull up on this real high and I'm going to tighten them back up. Alright, loosen that bolt up. There's one down there. Now I'm going to take this extension, put it right there, tap on the back of it with a hammer, try to get it to turn some. I think it turned some, I'm not sure. Let's see where it's at. I didn't tighten it up. We're not going to start it, but I did plug it back in. Well, it moved, but not much. Well, it moved quite a bit that time. Let's see what we got now. I tapped on it a little bit more. I saw it move that time. Let's plug this back in and see what we got. Make sure when you unplug these and plug them back in that your ignition is off. Alright, 0.65, just a little bit more. Alright, there we go. 0.57. Now hopefully when we tighten it up it'll stay there. See, it moved a little when we tightened it up. So we're probably going to have to take it out and elongate the holes, but let's double check our counts down here. So you want to check these counts with the motor all the way warmed up. It's about as warm as this one gets. And we're still a little high. So, and our volts are still a little high, 0.63. So we're going to have to take that throttle position sensor off. And we're going to have to elongate the holes. And we're going to have to screw the throttle body out just a little bit more. Alright, I took throttle position sensor off. That's what it looks like. There's like a little groove it catches on right there. But we needed it to turn with the throttle body to reduce the voltage. So we're going to have to hollow this out on this side and hollow this one out on this side so we can turn it that way. Just using a drill with a drill bit, I'll put it in there and just kind of go back and forth and hollow that out. There ain't a lot of meat left there, but a little goes a long way on them voltages, as you saw when we twisted it. There we go. Elongated the holes. That should be plenty. That didn't take 5 minutes with the drill and the drill bit. I found a drill bit that would just fit in the hole. Just kind of went back and forth and pushed it that way and on this one, so that'll let it clock us this way with the throttle body, how the throttle body opens, which will lower the volts. And I think we're shooting from 0.4 to 0.6, but as long as we're under 0.6. You put this back in there, see how that's a flat side? That flat side has to go up against that flat side. You'll know if you don't got it right. Oh, yep. Just slide it on, flat side, flat side. Seeing at warm idle, which this one idles at 170, 180. We were still 70 to 80 IAC steps, so we're going to tighten this up a little bit more. But look how far that moved. Moved a lot that time. That might be too much, we'll see. Alright, there we go. It ain't easy getting in there, but it did about 3 more of these. You can see there is more space there. Alright, ignition on, car not started. We're at 0.53. Perfect. Now let's tighten the throttle position sensor up, plug everything up, and see where our idle air control counts are. Alright, throttle position sensor is back tight. We'll go ahead and do another throttle position sensor relearn. Ignition on. Do not start the car. 30 seconds. 6, 7, 8. 15. 20. 25. And 30. Turn the ignition back off. And plug everything back up. So I unplugged everything. You only have to unplug the throttle position sensor. I unplugged everything because it's hard to get in there. Now, let's see where we're at. Alright, ignition back on. Start scanning. I tightened it back up. Look at that, 0.59. Now let's see what our counts are, but see, it already cooled back down. And I always forget to turn the pump back on. The pump comes on with the keys, so when I'm cycling the key off and on, I usually turn the pump off. Now, we'll see what it warms up. See what these idle air control position is after it warms back up. It's so cold out here, it don't want to get up to the temp it usually runs at. So I manually went in here and shut the fans off so I can get the temps up. But you can already see it's going to drop below 60. Yeah, it's idle air control position counts. Yeah, we're already at 57, 55. That's good. And now we're at 171. The fans kick on at 170, so where it's so cold. Yeah, but look, idle air control position 42. Look, we might need to go down some. Let's go ahead and turn the fans back on. Alright, we went a little too far. Well, no, idle air control position. Yeah, we went a little too far. We're gonna close the blades back just a little bit more. Probably just one little quarter turn like I was doing. Should do it. And look at our volts. Now, when we close that down, it'll lower the volts some. So that should get us perfect. But let's shut the car off and turn the key back on. And let's mash the gas and make sure we go to 100% on the throttle here. Nice and smooth. All the way to the floor, nice and smooth back out. Make sure it don't jump around. And floor it. And let off. And floor it. And let off. Everything looks good. Let's just we'll close the blades back down. That'll lower that number a little bit more. If you notice, it was jumping around from 0.59, 0.61. We need to raise this idle air control position just a little bit more. To add these in this channel here, you just use that little gear button right there. right beside that floppy disk. But you have to have the scanner stop scanning and disconnect from the vehicle, and it'll light up green. But for it to light up green, you have to be connected to the car. If you're not connected to the car, it won't let you do it. But once you hook it to the car, that'll light up green, and you can click on it, and it opens this thing up. You just type in what you're looking for. Like we used a throttle position sensor, and we used the one that had the V next to it for volts, and then idle air control position. You'll need those in this channel to be able to see what we're seeing. And this is just HB tuners, but let's close it down a little bit more and see if that helps any. We're a little bit too high on both, and I think if we lower it, it'll put them both exactly where we want it. All right, we lowered it down some. We're at 0.57 now. Idle's got to set in. There it goes. That's going to do it, guys. That's going to do it. So anytime you move that throttle position and the throttle position sensor, go ahead and reset everything. Make sure you're, I believe it's 0.4 to 0.6 volts is what you're shooting at on the throttle position sensor. And with a cam, the idle air control counts. That's annoying. Need to be 40 to 60 with a cam, and then a stock cam is supposed to be 60 to 80. But the relearn procedure on the throttle position sensor, you just turn the key on. Don't start the car, turn the key on. Start over. Unplug the throttle position sensor. Turn the key on. Don't start the car. 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, turn the key off, and then plug the throttle position sensor back in. But anytime you move that stuff, do the relearn procedure. And then again, with a cam, the idle air control counts should be 40 to 60, stock 60 to 80. And then the throttle position sensor voltage, I believe, is supposed to be 0.4 to 0.6. But once you get everything done, you want to make sure that it goes from 0 to 100%. Nice and smooth, too. And then below 0.6, 0.4 to 0.6. There we go. Y'all, thanks for watching, and have a great day.